Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. So our card tonight is the Three of Cups, and that has everything to do with abundance. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. What do they have to say? And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell button. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. So I want to look up here. It says W-I-N, so win. We also have an S-E, it looks like a V or a Y, maybe S-E-V-Y or S-E-Y, I don't know. I can't interpret how they go, where all the letters go all the time, but it does look like that we have the S and the E are definitely sticking out there. Here we have it almost looks like an S and an E again. The S would be backwards. Up here we have a 5 and a 3. So the letters, the numbers are really wanting to kind of pop out tonight. Okay. So the first thing I'm seeing is we have a person standing here. You can see kind of the torso here, arms, the head up here. It looks like a cat almost. Oh, and this is 35 on this side. So we have 35. We also have arrows. We have some arrows coming in. One up here. Oops, I'm getting way off of here. One up here as well. So I'm looking at this and I'm almost feeling like there's a sense of really being quite resistant to any like new love relationships. I almost wonder if you are in a relationship, if you have somebody in your life who is really pursuing you. Now, I don't get the impression that it doesn't feel like it's like unwanted in the sense that it feels, like predatory or, like somebody who is overstepping boundaries and you're feeling uncomfortable and that kind of thing. I don't feel that energy. I almost kind of just feel like, you're in a probably involved and devoted relationship, right? Maybe you're monogamous, maybe not. But I just feel like there's a sense of kind of, not necessarily not necessarily disliking this attention, and maybe there's even something a little bit there on your end with this person. But, you know, I think that whatever you have going on, if you're single, if you're married, if you're, you know, separated or whatever it is, you know, there's just not, you're just not interested in pursuing anything that is going to kind of change what you have going on already. I think you're pretty good, pretty happy, right? Fairly happy with your relationship status. I think that this is just kind of, and I see it's just almost kind of this feeling of like, you know, trying to miss those arrows. There's like no room for this kind of romance, okay? Like it feels like, yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't want it, right? So I feel like, you know, your focuses are in other places. You just are, this is maybe really low on your priority list. And again, like you might be married. You might be in a really involved relationship that's, you know, been going on for a long time. You might just really love being single. Or maybe you're coming out of something that, you know, you're still going through it. You're just trying to, you know, take your time for yourself and all of that. With that cat head, I feel there's a, you know, the sense of being in a real kind of individual, you're very independent person. You just kind of want to do things your way. You know, you have a good flow to how your life is. This is like a whole rearranging of things. Okay. And so, yeah, I feel like this is something that maybe it's kind of a frivolous flirtation. Let's just say it's something like that, maybe. Or just a really unspoken kind of tension, you know? Now, let's go ahead. We have a donkey, okay, right here. We also have a 6 right here. We have a 2 and a 6, 26. So many numbers and letters. I should start writing them down so I can remember them all as I see them. But we have the donkey, okay? And the donkey is really, it's one of the, you know, it's one of the big ones of the pack animals. Not in stature, but, you know, if we think of a pack animal, donkey is going to be right up there. So I feel like this is almost kind of that imagery of carrying the world on your back, not the shoulders on your world. But yes, carrying the world on your back. You are, and this is maybe part of why you're not interested in any new relationships. Maybe not even like friendships or romantic entanglements or whatever, just not enough room right now. But I feel like you are somebody who is probably taking care of the family. You're maybe a primary parent. You are maybe taking care of other family members who are ailing, or maybe they're getting older. You're the one that kind of holds everything together. You're the one in there doing the nitty gritty day-to-day stuff. And your time is taken up. You know, there's no other way to say, or to say it. You are busy from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed. You are doing stuff for yourself, for your work, and definitely for your family. So I feel like there is a sense of a real strength. I mean, truly, just maybe even physically strong. But I get the sense that it's just you you may not be recognized by others as being this like very strong and resilient, and if something were to happen, you head right in there. You're the first one to show up to help. You're the one that's, I always think of this because I've had a lot of death in my life, but when somebody has lost a loved one, a lot of people show up in those first, days, weeks, not so much months. They hang around for a while, and they might check on you and send you, whatever, like social media messages, text messages. They show up at your house with casseroles and hot dishes and, things like that. But as time gets on and, other things happen and all of that, there's kind of a real cooling off period. And this is when I think grief really it's very difficult, because you feel alone, right? You start to really feel that missing piece in your life, that it feels like a void, like a black hole in your life, where that person, was there actively in their physical form, their consciousness tied to a body, and they were there, and then they're gone. Okay. But you are the person, and I think that you have been through some loss. I feel that only somebody who has really, grieved and been through the process knows that you don't have to be the first one always to show up, although you probably are. But the person that keeps showing up, the person that's there 2, 3, 6 months later, a year later, checking in, seeing what's going on. Well, let's do something. Let's hang out. You are that friend, that family member. You absolutely do not forget. And I think that, like I said, people might not realize just how, the strength that it takes to be so many things for so many people, including, trying to find time to be that for yourself. Now, this is where I think Sagittarius's biggest flaw is. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say that you're, anything real bad going on. I love Sagittarius. My acquired mother is Sagittarius, and she's one of my favorite people in the whole world. But you don't always focus on your own well-being, and you get run down by life, by all of the things and the people that you are forever juggling. Trying to take care of and be with, and often supporting a lot of people too, or at least the close family. And financially, yes, not just in time or effort, but a lot of times you're the one that's borrowing money to people. You're the one that's making sure, my adult kid is like paying their bills and, that kind of thing. And then it is a cycle of having to work more and, not maybe saving as much as you hoped you would, and stressing and so on and so on. And so that's like your one and only flaw. You give too much of yourself. But I think that this is something that really very tied to that donkey energy that, I mean, just really can, you know, traverse the toughest inclines, carrying everything on your back. Yeah, you're tired, but you're going to keep going. Yeah, you don't even want to do it, but you're going to do it anyways because you care. And because that's just the type of person that you are, right? And I'm hoping, you know, and I've been looking in the readings here for Sagittarius and really thinking, okay, this is going to be the year where you take back a lot of that energy, a lot of that time and effort, right? You're going to put it into yourself this year. You're going to put it into the interior work. You're going to be, you know, and I'm not saying it's selfish, but this is you saying, I'm going to be selfish this year. I'm going to, you know, realign my life. So I have some time with myself doing the things that are important to me before I'm too old to do that, you know, and I hope, you know, I even pray. I'm saying I pray. I do. I pray that that is the case because, you know, you absolutely deserve to have that same energy you give other people given to you yourself. All right. Let's see. I'm done preaching at you. Okay, let's see here. Now we have a spider and we have this kind of feminine face here. It's kind of obscured a bit. You can see the eye and kind of a lip here, the head around this way. There's also a little face here that looks like it's like smiling real big. Then if you turn it this way, we have the eye, the nose, and a mouth. It almost looks like a stone face. Then we have a question mark right here. But then we have the spider, and you can see the body here, kind of some eyes right here, the legs kind of reaching out. So I almost kind of feel like there's this sense of kind of even like it seems like a lingering person, a lurking person, somebody, and I don't know if this is tied to that first situation, because I do feel like you have somebody that just really, I mean, they have such an affinity for you. I mean, it's there's just an affectionate feeling, almost like kind of like a puppy dog, right? Puppy dog kind of love. But this feels different. This feels like somebody who is like, I just feel like there may be an ex-partner, lover, beloved, kind of just lingering in the background. And I feel like maybe they're just like keeping track of you. I don't know that, again, I don't feel like it's necessarily this kind of like a stalker type of deal. I don't feel like it's that, but I do feel almost like I kind of feel like when you were around this person, when you were maybe with this person, there was a real potent attraction, but partnership. And I think that it was magical. That is that you were doing maybe magic work together. This is a spiritual being. Somebody who I feel has probably like esoteric knowledge. A practitioner probably of some kind. Maybe overtly, maybe not. But they do. I think that there's just a soul attachment here. This is one of your beloveds, I believe. And, excuse me, whatever happened in the mundane world, right? In this, shared reality, in the physical world, things didn't work out, right? And I feel like you were the one that probably walked away because you are the one that's really, you have a boundary here. But I think this is so old too, that you wouldn't even expect this person to really kind of even be around. I almost feel like you were kids, young, teenagers in your 20s, you know, something like this, when you were together. And I feel that they're just still around. But I don't know that I don't think that you're not in each other's lives. You don't even think about this person that much. You know, I think that there's a sense of something that was achieved there. And I feel like this maybe even was kind of the person that you got into spiritual work or I keep thinking this is magic. I don't mean stage magic, by the way, the occult practices. But I feel like they kind of turned you on to a lot of, new things at that time. And I just think that, I don't know, it's a connection that they can't get over. I feel like when you focus on it, you feel the same kindred kind of attachment. But I think in the real world, it just is not something, it's not something that seems feasible. And I almost wonder if you went on, maybe you had a family, you have a family, you have been focused on that for some years maybe. And it's, this is like ancient, this is like pre-kids, right? When you have kids, it's like, it's everything before having kids, and then there's having your kid, right? It changes everything. And so I think, I don't know why this person's coming up, but I feel like there is, it almost does feel like there's work to be done in some capacity here. But I'm seeing we have kind of a dagger over here. I see a person right here, and this is kind of why I'm thinking this is pre-child, but we have, it looks like a kneeling person, maybe a mother and a child with them. And I feel like this is like the real indicator of why, why your attention's kind of, fully faded away from this person. Now I don't really see what's going on with them, but I keep seeing the eyes. And you can see right in here, we have the eyes. Okay. And we just have this face where it's like looking, and this one kind of looking. Where did it go? It's hard. Sometimes they can't see it again. Yeah. Right here, looking. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing SE, and I'm thinking it's like C, like they're seeing you, they're looking for you, they're looking at you. Here's some more eyes up here. So they're really, it just, I don't know, there's just an undying attraction there. In the middle we have 13 as well. And I don't know what it is. Maybe they're going to present themselves to you. Maybe they will kind of reach out to you finally. I don't know. But now we do have a boat right here, and it's towards the past. It's going to the left of the bowl. So I almost kind of wonder if this is a situation where maybe you're willing to kind of revisit these old times. I don't know. Maybe this is the person that you have space for. versus, right, this other person that's kind of has this flirtation going on with you. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe all of a sudden this is kind of coming up and you've been so focused on your family. And like I said, if you're like married or whatever, this is kind of outside of that, that bond you have, that kind of family unit. And let me just say, I've had comments where, you know, people have said, I'm glad that you talk about things that most people don't really talk about unless they're judging the situation. And let me just say, I absolutely am not judging any configuration, you know, unless you are harming somebody that is, you know, vulnerable, or somebody in general, if you're harming anybody in general. But if you, if it's not something that is, you know, harmful to a person, then I don't, you know, and yeah, you could argue infidelity and this kind of thing. Yeah, it is, but I'm not going to judge. If you're an adult, you know what, I mean, yeah, I don't judge. So we're going to talk about these things, and I'm not going to give anybody a hard time on any side, right? You know, and that might suck if you have been cheated on, which, listen, we all have, right? Haven't we? Raise your hand if you have not been cheated on. Okay, no hands raised. You know, that part sucks. And yeah, we want to kind of sometimes feel like we want to talk some SH about, you know, somebody who might be involved in those situations. But you know what? I just don't. What is it to me, really? You know, so people are just people, and people do things, and you know, sometimes it's not very tasteful. It's not something that I would want in my personal life. You know, but listen, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, we're going to talk about these things sometimes. And so anyways, I just feel like it seems like there is, I just feel like you are in a place where it's like, devoted to the family life, married or not, in a relationship or not. If you have a kid or not, but there's a devotion to family. There's a devotion to you know, helping and being, you know, a lot for a lot of people. But then I feel like there's almost I don't know what this is. Like, you're drawing this person in. You're drawing people in, and it doesn't surprise me, because you're probably a very high vibrating person. But, you know, now I'm looking at this and I almost, you know, I wonder, we have a ribbon here. So I wonder if there's some kind of health situation, or, you know, maybe a health situation, or there's some kind of survivor. Maybe this is why they're so intent on kind of being in your orbit. And I think that, you know, if you had a direct conversation with this person, it might really be that you just fall back into the place you were before. Maybe that's not a good place. Maybe that is. Maybe there's a lot of love and passion still there. I don't know. But we have that dagger, and I'm thinking this is like the opening, right? We're opening this ceremony upon the theater of life, right? And so, I don't know, I'm interested. Are you going back to your old person? Are they going to show up? Listen, if they show up, if they start messaging you, you have to let me know, because I'm interested in that. As much as I don't like doing love readings, I don't ever really kind of gravitate towards that. But like, when we have a like complicated kind of love going on, that I'm interested in. That I am. Okay, so we have a 3. We have a mermaid here and 3 again. So I feel like there's like kind of three steps here. Something in 3. With the mermaid, I feel like the mermaid to me either represents one of 2 things usually, and that is either the siren or the siren, right? A thing that kind of draws in the sailor by singing sweet songs, and they turn the ship and then they go sailing right into the rocks and into their doom. Or the mermaid is the traverser of the great and wide unconscious. They are a being that really gets in there and finds those fragments of inspiration, kind of the gatherer of beautiful little things, like little stones, right? Stones of which build concepts and ideas and a beautiful innovator. So I'm kind of looking at it in that way. I think that there is excuse me, I think I have a bit of a cough from I was outside in the weeds and things today, and my allergies are just, they're getting pretty noticeable. So I feel like there's almost a sense of kind of maybe beginning a creative project, or maybe it really actually feels like finding an ending to this thing, right? Really hoping that you can get all the things together so that you can finally finish this project. And I feel like there's like 3 more major steps there, and then we are at our end. And I think that there's, and we see, right, the 3. I think that there's definitely there's an aspect of this that will involve working with other people on this project. And maybe this is the part you've been avoiding, because this is something you really care about. And I think that it's kind of hard for you sometimes to be vulnerable with your creative endeavors by allowing other people to get involved. But I do think that there's some aspect that is going to have you seeking some kind of like partnership, or maybe you have to, for instance, like you've painted a painting and you're going to have somebody frame it for you, right? And it's a beloved piece, so it's hard to kind of let somebody else put their touch on this beautiful thing, this creative beauty that you have worked so hard at. And but it's it's necessary. It's necessary for the vision. And so something along these lines. Okay. Let's take a look. We have the Wild Bohemian affirmation cards. These are the fire element. And I am going to go ahead and flip through, and I'm going to stop where it feels right. All right. And we have, I am free. Allow the wild and mystical to inspire you. Wonderment is attractive. Wonderment is attractive. We have the 9. Of course we do. Okay, Sagittarius, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. All right. With that, I will say good night, and we will talk in just a few days. Bye.